Hey guys, welcome to ND72 YouTube channel, and this is my CLK55. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Adam, ND72. So we're going to be back with doing stuff to the CLK55. So if you remember in the last couple of videos, we fiberglassed the whole front end, got fiberglassed in. I went and weighed it, and it weighed like 27 and change. And that was with the big battery in the rear and a couple extra like LBs in the rear, because the issue that we're having now, which I always kind of had it, was hooking up in the rear. So I'm looking in to get a limited slip. They're a little bit costly, but I'm willing to do it. I have the money. But first, what I'm going to do is just something a little bit that I just wanted to try. I want to try different tires and wheels. So right now, these are two 55/50 16s, and they're mounted on, this is the good one to use. So we got these rims right here. They're 16-inch rims by 7. They're made out of magnesium alloy. They weigh 13 pounds. Super light, super nice. I think they look cool. They go with like the whole way the car looks, but they're only 7-inch wide, so it limits me with two 55s. So what we did was, this is also what we're going to be installing today, some FCPEURO stuff. But what I got was these were super inexpensive. They're readily available. It showed up in like one day without having to pay overnight shipping from Jegs, 15x8. The bolt pattern is 5x114, so we're going to be converting this to 5x114 in the rear, because you just get so many more options of rims, and they're so cheap. These I think were like $130 shipped. Pretty nice, and this is what they look like. So boom. So they're not the lightest rims. We're going to see how much. So the ones on the car weigh 13. These weigh, all right, let's see if we get it. Can you see that? 16.4. My scale is 0.4 off. So these weigh 16 pounds, and these weigh 13 pounds on the exact same scale. So what that's going to allow me to do, it's going to allow me to put, since we're doing the 5x114 conversion, it opens up rims by like extremely amount. And by going up with a little bit bigger, and especially going down to a 15, I'm going to get so much more of a sidewall on whatever tire I pick. And what I'm going to do is a 275. So that's going to be 20 millimeters more. And then also I could drop the temp, or drop the PSI and get more of a footprint. So I'm hoping that'll hook up. And these are 3 pounds heavier than what I have on there. They're not the lightest ones I could get. Like I easily could have went with like VMS makes some, I think, and Will, then Bill. I think it was $230 shipped to the door. I got it within a day and a half. I live in Florida, so super convenient and easy. So what we'll do is we're going to remove these rear wheels. We're going to weigh the whole assembly really quick. I'm going to go to the tire shop, get some new tires thrown on there. And also the benefit was going to this setup. So right now I got the R888s on here. Granted, they're not a drag tire. They're nothing like that. But all the Mickey Thompson and everything is usually like, it's not the super most convenient tire to get. What I did find, I might just be really lucky, or this is really convenient. So Nitto makes a drag radial. It's their version 2. And Discount Tires keeps them in stock by me. 20 minutes down the road, they have them in stock in their inventory. So literally, I call them up and said, hey, I need 2. They're like, all right, come by in roughly like a couple hours. You know, you got to wait for an appointment and stuff like that. But they're in stock, the Nittos. So I could literally go to an event, and if I need tires, I could just go up to the road and get them. So that's a huge benefit of me switching to this whole setup, if it all works. I'm hoping it'll work. I'm hoping I could clear 275 in the back. If not, I might have to do a little bit of maneuvering, but we'll see what happens. So I went and got the wheels and tires all mounted with the Nittos. So we got them right here. So they seem super effing sticky, super nice, and they fit really good on these rims. I think they look pretty sharp. So we're going to go see if they fit and see if we got any issues. All right, we got the wheel on, and I got to see a few issues. Look at the poke just in the air. Jeez, like that's aggressive. And then also, yeah, they hit the factory caliber. So to fix the caliber problem, I have like 15 millimeters. This would take maybe a 10 mil to clear it. But then it shoots so much poke out, which I didn't even drop it on the ground, but I'm just not a big fan of like how much that is poking out right there. So then even with the 10 mil, it'll be poking out even more. But I mean, it clears everything on the back, but you can just see how much more room. I have so much more room to sunk this in. And from my understanding, the closer I get the wheel in, the better traction you'll have. So what we did, because I already found this, and I'm going to show you what I did instead. So really quick, the offset of the rims that I just put on the car are 0. So what I saw on Jegs, they go up to 27 offset. So 27 millimeters, it would pull it in to suck it in to help with that wheel poke. Okay, completely fine. So if I did 27 to suck in for that wheel poke, and then I put like a 15 mil spacer, which I have plenty of those, that will bring the whole tire in, I don't know, roughly like 13 millimeters more or less of less poke. Okay, that still is a lot of poke. So what I'm gonna do is, because I saw one person do this, and it'll work. I already measured it. So right now on this car right now, for those rear calibers, so this shows you could put 15s easily. Maybe if you get a better offset or a better set of tire or a better rim, maybe with like a 45 offset, and then just do the 15 mil poker just to clear the caliber. You could do that, but I'm gonna try to do this the most inexpensive way. So we already weighed those rims, and we know what they weigh. And then also on Jags, they have a different set that is basically the same price, and I already ordered them. But the other idea I have, which will fix both issues, is going to be, so these calibers are CLK55 calibers and rotors. I think they come up to be like, I'll actually show you what they look like. So with this caliber setup, these comes with they are 300 millimeter height, and they're 20 millimeter wide, and they're vaned. And also this caliber, if you look how much it comes out, so this is the issue you're having. It actually comes out like a full, like, almost like an inch right there. It actually pokes out. Let's get a better light. So you can see how much it pokes out past here. So that's why you're not clearing right there. So what I got an idea to do is, so what I got out here is, oh hey little Rocky, is from my CLK430 rear calibers, and they are, as you can see, solid. These are 290 millimeters height, so they're shorter a little bit, and they're 10 millimeters wide. So yes, there will be a little bit less cooling, but I mean, I dropped, like, as you saw, over 1,000 pounds off my car, so I think these brakes will be plenty to stop the car. And also, the big thing is, look at this, look at the caliber. It is like nothing. It has no poke out, nothing. I think it'll be perfect. So what we're going to do is see if these could fit. They most likely can. And then I'm just going to use these old ones maybe for like a week or something, just to make sure nothing rubs, and then buy brand new rotors and everything and make sure it all works. But I'm going to show you the huge difference. So with the CLK55 rims, I had to use this spacer, which was 15 mil. Now I have a 5 mil spacer in there, and it clears perfectly. I really didn't even need the 5 mil. I just did it just for that little extra clearance. It still spun without it, but spins freely with those. So super happy now. If you look, the poke is still out there a little bit, but I'm not pushing it all the way out like I had before. But what's going to fix that a lot, I'm going to show you right here. So these are also from Jegs. These are the same thing. They are 15 by 7, but now these are the 27 millimeter offset. And I'm going to go weigh them, but these feel even lighter than those. They're the same exact price, roughly the same kind of style. So we're going to put them on and see how much more. It should sunk it in. So you see how I have this poke? It should bring it in 27 millimeters in more. And then we'll be perfect. And wow, night and day difference. Like, these clear, and they actually have even more room, just because how they're designed. But I still have that 5 mil spacer there. They clear, they don't hit anything there. So they're sunk in 27 millimeters more than that one is over there on this caliber setup. So I am so much happier. And I'm like, you could just see how, like, the tire's gonna poke out a little bit, but not nearly as much. So I'm gonna go get some tires mounted on these. But first, we're going to start ripping apart these brakes and make sure that they do fit on the 55. So we're going to start by ripping apart the whole caliber and rotor setup to make sure it does fit on the 55. Because I already got the CLK430 here. It's just kind of like sitting and chilling in my backyard. I fire it up from time to time. So the parts on it are free. So even if, like, I mean, the caliber should still be good, but even if they're not, I at least don't have to pay money to test this all out. And I got my handy little buddy Rocco's over here who's going to try to help me do this. And we're going to see, actually, because I've seen, when I look online, the specs when you buy them used, or not used, but when you buy other rotors, like new ones, these weigh less too on the 430. So maybe we'll drop some rotational LBs, and then we're also going to weigh those black Jags ones and compare them to the other ones, because I think these are supposed to be even lighter. We're going to start knocking that out, though. Alright, so what we got here is the CLK55 rotor and the CLK430 rotor. As you can always see, these are basically vaned and doubled, so that's an easy 20 mil, and this is the 10 mil solid. So now for the weighing portion, I think you can see the scale. So I weigh 171.6. So this is the Caliper rotor setup from the 55. And that's 194. So that's like 23 pounds. So 23 pounds for the CLK55 Caliper rotor setup. And now the CLK430 is 189. So like 5-pound difference you get from this whole setup of rotational weight. So with that being roughly, 5 pounds on each side. So that'll be a total of 10 pounds of rotational weight just from these rotors and calibers. And when I lifted the calibers really didn't feel any difference. I weighed them, they're like a 1/4 pound difference each. It's mainly the shape of the caliper that's different. And the rotor, those are the huge difference in weights. So I'm going to show you a little bit of different in size with the calibers. So as you can see, 430, 55, they're both 2-piston designs. The pads are basically the same. It's just how the caliper shoots out. Like, if you could just see a difference of them being level, like right there, you could just see this part of the piston shoots out farther this way. Oh, I even got it upside down. Whoopsies. Bam, better comparison. So I don't know if you could see if the camera will do it really, but just, this is it sitting on the car. You can just see how much more it sinks in. So this is what's going to help clear 15-inch wheels. And you can find these on, you can find them brand new. I think they're $75 brand new for a caliper, but I got some in the backyard, so I'm just using these. One other thing, the caliper bolts are different lengths. CLK430, CLK55. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 430 ones and put those right back where the 430 calibers. I don't think that length really should matter, but just in case, because that 430 caliber does sink in more, and I don't want this to hit anything. So we got all the rotors and everything on this side. We still have that little 5mm spacer just to kind of clear it, but it clears pretty good. And like, look at, you're just hearing the travel of the rotor, but man, it goes so easy now. We're gonna drop it down and see actually how much poke I have with these with a 5mm before we make the decision if we're gonna go to those other ones with a 27mm offset. All right, so this is not it all the way down, but you can just see how much it's hanging out right there compared to these other ones that sit almost sunk in. See the huge difference? So I'm definitely going to be going to the black ones that are 27 offset, because I'll drop it in 27 millimeters in. So I just said I should have like a little bit of poke after that. Maybe it'll come out to like right here instead of like all the way over there. So we're going to pull these off and then put the brakes on the other side next. All right, so now we're going to weigh those rims. So if you remember, these were like 16 and change, just the rim. These are 13 and change. And then those up there are 13 and change. So we're going to see if these are any heavier or lighter. So comparing apples to apples, the CLK 320 rims are 13 pounds, but on my scale they weigh roughly like 14. So those jegs are a ½ pound heavier than the CLK 320 lightweight rims that everyone else puts on their cars. Granted, you're comparing a 15-inch rim to a 16-inch rim. That's kind of the difference, where also these aren't the best made, but they're super effing cheap on Jags, and you can get them like within 2 days. So we're going to head to the tire shop, throw some tires on this one, and see how they fit. So we got the CLK 430 rotors, calipers, pads. I actually got new rotors because they were like $30 at O'Reilly's, and my other ones were kind of warped. I don't want to drive on it. But here's the Jags rims, and I'm going to show you the difference in like, so it's not really poking out that bad. Like, I don't know if you can really tell on camera. It's really, really not bad. Like, I probably could bring it in if I would have got a better offset. Like, these are 27s. Maybe if the size I would say would probably be a 45, then you can work with it. But I'm going to show you what it looks like with zero offset on the other rims. Like, if you could tell how much more tire is actually sticking out. This one I think is a little bit aggressive. So it's literally 27 millimeters in more right here. And it looks Looks pretty clean in my opinion. Pretty nice. And it kind of goes with the car, and like the front rims, yeah, I gotta wash them. So if this setup works, I'm gonna take these front rims and paint them like blackout, like kind of the same style, because I'm liking these. And yes, I know they're going the wrong way, the wrong directional. It's just I only had one tire, so I didn't care what way they mounted it. But pretty good. All right, so we got the tires and the wheels on. So far I let it sit overnight. I drove it around a little bit. It doesn't really have that much poke. I definitely have some noise down there. I'll have to see what that is, but I think they look pretty meaty. So these are, I'll try to remember to put all the specs down below. So the tire I have on there is a 275. No, actually double check. 275 15. So it's a big boy. These are actually drag radials. These are the new Nittos. I think it's like NT552s, NT55R2s. The wheels are from Jegs. The wheels are 15 by 8 with a 27 millimeter offset, and the bolt pattern is 5 by 1/114, or also 5 by 4.5. This whole tire and wheel package only weighed 2 more pounds than my other ones, and the rims were only roughly like 1.5 pounds more. So, and then also, I'll put in the description, so how I converted it. These brakes are from the CLK 430 W208. They also got them in the CLK 320 W208. So you got rotors, calipers, and then I put a 5mm spacer just to clear it a little bit, but you still clear this rotor pretty good, but the 5mm just to cover my butt. And then I did the stud conversion. I got these from FCPEURO. They have the lifetime warranty on the stud and nut, so if I break a nut or stud, it's lifetime warranty, or even if they fade or anything like that. These studs were kind of old. I took them off one of my like other builds, so you could kind of see like the paint wore off. So I bet I could go there and they'll give me new ones. They're usually pretty good with their warranty, so not too worried about that. And these are the M12 studs. They come in M12 and M14, so just make sure you get the right one. I think it's like E55, CLS55, SLs55 or M14s. The W208 CLKs, SLKs, those are like M12 cars. And that's going to be, I'll put all links down where you could get them. And other thing, if you notice from the FCPEURO ones, you could actually put the Allen in here and you could tighten them down compared to a ball. So we're going to take it for a test drive. I think it looked pretty mean. So they don't fully match these. Granted, these are dirty. But, so these are mine. If no one, I think I got a few videos. These rims were 13 pounds. These tires, I think, are 12 pounds. So this whole front tire setup is pretty beefy, like for weight reduction. And it's a full-size tire. So I'm probably going to get these painted like black and leave this silver so it matches that. But we're going to go fire it up and see if I can actually hook up, or if they rub or do anything crazy. But they really shouldn't. You recording?
Yep.
Alright, so I'm driving around. I don't hear no like thumping or nothing like from the brakes, which I really don't think they would have an issue. They were on my CLK 430. And then now we're going to try to do a little pull in Mexico and see if we hook up better. Oh, it definitely, like if I warm these up or drop the PSI, I didn't spin on that. It basically, so I hooked and it pulled me to the left a little bit, so I might have to work on my alignment, but that felt pretty good. We're gonna try to turn around and do one more quick pull if I could. Come on, don't be there, don't be there. And this is a 20 roll with, I think the tires are set at like 38, so they're really high right now. Pretty effing good, and the car still brakes perfectly fine, even though I downgraded the pad and rotor setup. But it definitely feels so much nicer now. I think if I work with the tire pressure, I actually gotta check my alignment, because it did kind of pull me to the left a little bit, but pretty good. And it's what, 85 degrees out still right now, and the car was a little warm. Pretty nice. All right, guys, so we took it for the test drive. Oh my effing god, night and day difference. So like I said, I'm gonna start dropping the PSI on there. Right now they're at like 38, so it's still pretty high, and it hooks up really well. So I'm gonna put the car back up in like a week or something and see if anything like rubbed from it. But it doesn't sound like it's rubbing. The brakes sound perfect. The car is definitely doing a lot better. So now I also have another thing coming. I got my limited slip that I ordered today, so that should be here in roughly like 5 to 10 days. just with what's happening with the world. I'm not going to tell you what kind I got yet, but it was pretty expensive. So no matter what, with these tires and with that limited slip, I will hook up every time, and then I could get more weight out of the car and start doing some stuff up there, which I'm not going to tell you yet, but it's definitely going to make this car a lot faster. So thanks you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video, put a comment down there, and then once I get this car, I know people are still talking about the paint. Once I get this car into my goal that I want for the quarter mile, I'm going to paint the whole car. So we're getting really close to that, and trust me guys, it's a pretty fast, fun car. So also guys, if you guys want to find me on Instagram, I post videos and pictures up there too. It's Buffy CLK500. So thanks guys, see you later.
Lady versus Swiffer. Swiffer wins.